Hey there, fellow noobs. How are y'all doing? I am the Perpetual Noob, and welcome to a long overdue Noobin with Bayonetta 2 episode. This is all post-commentary, because we're still working through the witch trials, and we're going to be going to witch trial number 3 soon. And my god, this episode will actually also take on witch trial number 4, but it was hours of playing, hours of trying, hours of attempts to finally just get these 2 successful runs and put them together. So, that's the plan for this episode. We are just going to hang out while we kind of watch getting through witch trial number 3, and then eventually getting through witch trial number 4. Here, we're using Takamizukuchi Kizuchi. I don't know, a giant hammer. At one point, I decided, okay, there must be something that's just, I'm just using the wrong type of weapon, right? You know, I should just, these are all infernal, they're demons. There must be a weapon that will help. That does like more damage to demons, you know, some sort of angelic weapon. Well, going to the internet and consulting with it, turns out there really wasn't. I mean, there was this hammer, and the wiki was like, yeah, this is the strongest weapon in the game, but it is, you know, it's lightning based. You know, this is its element. So I said, alright, well, let's try it anyways. It's the strongest weapon, maybe it'll work. So that's what we decided to use in this attempt. And this was a successful attempt. Since you're all getting to see it. Not not showing any of the unsuccessful ones. Because my god, there were some times where the attempt, by like the 3rd stage, you just died. Just had terrible luck, just couldn't dodge right, that sort of thing. You notice there I used a torture attack? Well, one of the fellow noobs earlier on during some of the earlier witch trials noted and let me know that torture attacks actually pay out in like laurels of health and such like that. So it's actually a better idea to use torture attacks than it is to use Umbran Climax. So that's why you saw a torture attack there. We'll get into more about the Umbran Climax soon enough. That'll be more in witch trial number 4. But while we're chilling here and we're just kicking the crap out of demons, I also want to talk about some awesome stuff that's recently happened. Just because why not? We're hanging out, we're watching some video games. So let's talk about E3, because E3 did recently wrap up, and I definitely had some personal highlights. There was a ton of content, a ton of information out there. It was honestly an incredible event to watch. Sadly, didn't get to attend, but there were all of those streams. I mean, just so many, just streams everywhere. Streams as far as the eye could see. To catch any of the footage you wanted to see, it was fantastic. So some of my personal highlights, we'll kind of go in order-ish, but we're going to talk about X-Bone first. A couple of things. Their press conference was pretty cool. I'll definitely give them that. It was actually pretty entertaining. Definitely a lively press conference. Oh my god. I don't know if any of you watched the Square Enix press conference. I'm so glad I wasn't at home to watch it live. I was instead able to watch a video on demand of it because I skipped about half of it. Like, it was just so boring. Ugh, so boring. Anyway, X-Bone, couple of cool things. They showed off Halo 5, which I guess now you're chasing after Master Chief because now he's gone AWOL. I will admit I stopped after Halo 2. I don't think I ever played even Halo 3. I did own the first Xbox One, you know, before being an Xbox One was cool. So I got Halo and Halo 2, and those games were a good time. Now we're on Halo 5. Guess you're chasing after Master Chief. Though funny enough, the best part about it for me was that Nathan Fillion's voicing a character in there. And I was just like, oh, yay! Another big announcement from Microsoft's press conference was that the Xbone is now going to become backwards compatible with 360 games, which, awesome. That's very cool. It's a very cool upgrade. It does seem that it's not a full backwards compatibility thing when they do roll it out, and apparently it's going to roll out in like 2016 or later this year at least. And that's not as cool that it's not just simply, oh, you can play any single Xbox 360 game you want on your Xbone now. But it's definitely a step in the right direction, and shame on you, Sony, because now your PS4 is the only, or will be the only, current gen console that is not backwards compatible to the previous generation, which sucks. But I can understand it because Sony is just raking in the HD remaster cash like crazy. I mean, that's definitely what they're doing. So I can understand that they wouldn't ever go to backwards compatible now. Not after all that. That'd be insane for them. But we can move on to Sony's press conference, which was amazing. They showed The Last Guardian, and more importantly, they showed actual gameplay of The Last Guardian. So that is awesome because it looks really cool, and it was really exciting to see actual gameplay from The Last Guardian. As I kind of thought when I watched it and listened to that adorable bird, dog, cat, hyena creature, your pal, I listened to them whine and whimper. I was just like, oh my god, it's like a puppy, it's just so cute. So I'm totally pumped for that game. They showed off No Man's Sky, which, again, there's still no release date for it. Actually, similarly to The Last Guardian, no release date for it. But it's definitely positive news to see actual gameplay for The Last Guardian. It means it's at least getting closer. But No Man's Sky, no release date again. But they did show this great little bit of just kind of highlighting the size of the game. And it's a universe. It's a galaxy. It's huge. It's mind-boggling how big this game is going to be. They showed off a new IP, which was called Horizon, like a New Dawn or something like that, which looked really cool, actually. It was, it looked like a mix of, you know, it was a third-person action-adventure game. It's like steampunk, but a little bit more beyond that, because there's lasers, and there's bows and arrows, but they shoot like laser arrows and stuff. It was a very cool idea, and it looked gorgeous, so I'm actually pretty excited about that. Can't wait to see more as that gets continues through development. Kingdom Hearts 3. This wasn't actually shown during Sony's thing, but it's like Sony's, you know, it's gonna be on the PS4 first type thing, I think is really what's gonna happen. Maybe not, maybe I'm getting that wrong. But at least this is like the only thing I would have talked about from the Square Enix, you know, press conference. So whatever I'm talking about with Sony is we did finally get to see some gameplay, but again, still no release date, which kind of like, I don't know, it feels, I'm a little more sour about it than not getting a release date than I am with The Last Guardian not giving a release date, because seriously, Square Enix, and even worse, they showed off like this Kingdom Hearts mobile game first before they showed any Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay. And what? No, we're done with all like the little side projects, Square Enix. We want Kingdom Hearts 3. Where's Kingdom Hearts 3? Another really cool thing, though, from Sony's actual press conference was the Kickstarter for Shenmue 3. So Shenmue 3 is actually going to be happening. There is a Kickstarter for it. It only opened the night of Sony's press conference, so it's still up for like over a month. And the Kickstarter was asking for only like a couple $1 million, which honestly, it broke Kickstarter. Like, I tried to back the project that night and I could not, which was hilarious. But thankfully Shenmue 3 seemed to make, like, I don't know, I think it made its goal before the night was over, despite the problems with Kickstarter. So that was really cool to see. And it turns out that Sony, you know, the goal for Shenmue was like, on Kickstarter was very small in comparison to overall development costs. So it was very cool, and it was very cool then to learn that Sony's like, oh, yeah, we're helping. We're actually gonna help back this project. Don't worry. We're giving them money too. I've loved the first one. I actually played it on the Dreamcast. I loved it. It was very cool. I did not have the chance. I did not end up playing the second one. But I am still very happy to see that it's getting its third. It's getting its conclusion. That's awesome. Moving on to like Nintendo, Star Fox was huge news. I loved it. I was so happy to see that there's gonna be a new Star Fox, and you're gonna be in the R-Wing, and that's fantastic because I've been a huge fan of Star Fox since the Super Nintendo. I do have Star Fox for the Super Nintendo with that goofy FX logo on it, because whoa, the best graphics ever. So I'm very happy to see that that's coming, that there's gonna be a new one for that. Xenoblade Chronicles X. Honestly, pretty cool. It looks just like, I've never played any of the Xenoblade or Xenogears games, but it looks like such a cool RPG that I don't care. I'd still love to try and pick that up and play it. You know, I'm hoping that because I haven't played the other ones, I don't miss out too much on like what's happening in this particular installment of the game. I hope. But yeah, very excited for that. And now, I mean, that's kind of like, so those are like the three big, you know, press conferences. There was, now I'm thinking about, there was a PC, like, gaming press conference, which was cool. I actually loved the format of the PC gaming conference. It was done up like a talk show, so they had their presenter sitting behind a desk. They had a couple of couches for their guests and whatnot. It was actually a very cool format, and it was very entertaining to watch. So it was fun. Through that we got to learn that No Man's Sky will be coming to the PC, so that's cool. Got to see a couple other cool games in there. A game called Beyond Eyes. Very interesting idea where you play as a character who is blind, and it's third person, but the character has to explore the world without sight, and so there's going to be all sorts of auditory clues. I guess they're not going to be able to directly translate it, but I guess they're going to try to even use like scent and essentially all the other senses as best as possible so that you can navigate the world. So it's cool. I kind of interested to see how that comes out. Moving on now from like the three consoles and then the PC press conferences, we're just going to get to some of the games, because there's just some games that are coming out to multiple consoles, obviously. In not really a particular order, because I'm just excited for a lot of these. Let's see, Fallout 4. That's happening. That's awesome. It's Fallout 3 plus, let's see, modded guns, power armor, making your own towns, being played in Boston. Yes, the end. Yes, I'm good with all of that. Give me all of this. Thank you, all of this. I have not actually played New Vegas. I've heard that that's actually the better one in comparison to Fallout 3, because there's better writing. I've heard that, you know, Fallout New Vegas has the better writing. It's like, so people are just like, it's like Fallout 3 with all of its bugs and glitchiness, but better writing, so it's the better game. So I originally was saying that when, you know, Fallout 4 comes out, or at least like the week ahead of when Fallout 4 comes out, which is going to be actually November of this year, but the week ahead of that, I was planning originally to just do Fallout 3 and just like marathon it and do a run through of it. But I'm thinking maybe instead I'll do a run of New Vegas, since I've never played that one. You know, it'll just be a fun playthrough. You know, it won't be blind. I mean, it'll be blind to me as it can be. I mean, but you know, you all can feel free to comment, tell me cool things to find, that sort of thing. But I'm thinking to play New Vegas instead the week ahead of Fallout 4. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Maybe, if you prefer Fallout 3 or if you prefer Fallout New Vegas. Either way, we're going to be mainlining one of those games in preparation for Fallout 4. Either way. Another cool game that's coming, there's a new Doom. A new Doom is actually coming, which is pretty cool. It definitely looks like Doom. It's ultra violent and demons, and they've got some new features, like you can now make your own maps, which I suppose is actually a pretty cool idea. So you can start making your own like multiplayer maps. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's so. I mean, I've played Doom. It's funny, I played Doom 1 back when I was like 7? Maybe I was 9? I don't know, doesn't matter. The long and short of it is, I was way too young to be playing Doom. But I did. You can thank the lack of the ESRB for that sort of thing. Or just bad parenting, I'm not quite sure which. But then I came back in on Doom 3, really enjoyed that. So it's cool to see that there's a new Doom coming. It definitely looks like Doom, and so that should be fun. Dishonored 2 is coming. I haven't gotten into the first Dishonored yet, but I won't lie. The trailer that they showed at E3 for Dishonored 2 totally got me hooked. Let's see. Female protagonist, assassin badass, who's now fighting General Grievous's? Grievi? I don't know. Multiple General Grievous robots. Yeah, that sounds actually pretty damn cool, honestly. I mean, really, like, what about that sentence isn't awesome? So I'm thinking about actually playing through the first Dishonored now, which I did pick up through the PS Plus kind of freebie stuff a couple of months ago. Haven't tried it yet, but I'm thinking maybe try to do a no-kill run of that game. I mean, they're saying you can, which honestly sounds kind of cool. It'd be kind of nifty to try to beat a game without killing anybody when that's like an option. That the game's like, yeah, no, we built the level so you could do this if you wanted to. So I'm thinking about doing that too. That's actually, and that will probably be on the channel if it does happen. Just because, I mean, it sounds like fun, and I'd love to share those attempts with all of you. There is a Stick of Truth sequel coming, which is exciting. I don't know if any of you ever got the chance to play South Park: The Stick of Truth, but that was, if you're a fan of South Park, it was just a great game. Yeah, combat was it was turn-based, it was definitely a little old school, but it was still very fun. There were so many South Park references. It looked like a South Park episode. I mean, really, you just felt like you were playing a really long South Park episode. So it was great, and it's really cool to see that another one is coming. And I love the name. I won't lie, I giggled at the name. It's called The Fractured But Whole. Exactly. Come on, it's funny. Some big news for a game that's currently out. Killer Instinct, a game that, thanks to Maximilian, that hype bastard, has been making me consider purchasing an Xbone. I mean, which is insane to purchase a system for a single game, which I kind of laugh a little bit because we're talking about this now in a Bayonetta 2 video, and Bayonetta 2 is essentially the only reason why I own a Wii U. I mean, there's Smash Brothers, that's a cool game. I do enjoy Hyrule Warriors, and now I'm even happier because Star Fox is going to be made for the Wii U as well. So, I mean, it was kind of initially like, oh, Bayonetta 2 is exclusive to a Wii U, I guess I'm going to have to buy a Wii U because I love the game so much. But, big news for Killer Instinct, it's not going to be exclusive to an Xbone either later this year or at least in 2016. That's right, it's coming to, as they're saying, Windows 10. And that is stupidly exciting. So rather than needing to buy a whole new console, I just need to buy a gamepad or a fight stick, because I don't have either that would work for my computer. And somehow I feel like a fighting game on your computer just feels weird using a keyboard and mouse. So that's some exciting news. Honestly, that was very exciting, because Killer Instinct, I mean, primarily thanks to Maximilian and all the amazing hype videos he's been doing for that game, and all the streaming he's been doing for that game, it's just made me really think it would be awesome to play. It looks like it would be just such a great video game. Another bit of big news, Dark Souls 3, that's gonna be an actual thing. It's really going to happen. I'm slightly concerned. I'm really hoping it's not going the way that Assassin's Creed has gone, which was the way Call of Duty went, where it's just been annual releases. I'm really hoping that they've got bigger and better plans for Dark Souls 3 than just, or the Dark Souls franchise, than just turning it into a franchise like that. And I say that, and I have a little bit of hope, a little bit more hope for Dark Souls 3, because a lot of the players from the Soulbrant group, like Peeve Peverson, Barnezy Jones, Dreaded Cone, a lot of those and more of them all got to go to a Q&A session with the director of like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Bloodborne, Hidetaka Miyazaki. They got to go to a Q&A session with him and discuss, okay, Dark Souls 3, what's going to be happening? And first off, I just like to say that's awesome for the Soulbrand guys. That's incredible. Good for you guys. You've all earned it, because you guys have all been huge in the Dark Souls community, and that's so cool. But now getting back to the Q&A itself, Miyazaki confirmed that it's going to be like dedicated servers for matchmaking and PvP. It's going to be soul level matchmaking rather than soul memory bullshit that was Dark Souls 2. And the backstabs from Dark Souls 1 are coming back, so thank God, because being able to miss backstabs was exactly what the system needed. So there is some promising news about it. But Miyazaki did also reveal that Dark Souls 3 is not going to be the last one in the franchise. Like, it's not just a trilogy of Souls games, which is a little interesting. I mean, he also did say, like, oh, well, I was thinking about, like, science fiction and maybe ninjas. And it was like, well, okay, fair. Ninjas or science fiction Dark Souls would actually be pretty cool. I mean, come on. We could have lightsabers in a Dark Souls game. And there wasn't mods, so that would be pretty cool, honestly. And I feel like I'm missing something. There's another game I wanted to talk about, and I feel like maybe I'm just messing with you guys. I totally remember what game this is, because there's no way I could ever forget what game this is that I want to discuss now. The Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I was watching the Sony press conference, you know, live. I was live streaming that, and actually, that reminds me, I don't know if any of you are following me on Twitter, and if you are, you probably all got to see my live tweets from the various press conferences for E3. And this one, like, the music kind of started, and it was, and they were talking over just some vague images that seemed to be Final Fantasy VII related, and but like, the moment I saw the slide from the playground in Midgar, I started losing my mind. Even talking about it now, I still get a little weepy, but like, by the end of that, before that reveal was even over, I was crying, because I'm so happy that they're doing that. And it's a little weird, I know, because, you know, you're like, well, geez, it's a remake of a game. Why are you so happy? And it's mainly because they kind of showed it off. They showed off like an enhanced version of Final Fantasy VII for the PS3 release, and then they were all like, oh yeah, we're not doing anything with that. And then they're like, here, have Advent Children. And then they're like, hey, we're still not doing anything with remaking Final Fantasy VII, despite the fact we're giving you all these like teasers, you know. And then finally, they're just like, no, now we're gonna make it, and it's gonna look like Advent Children, and it's just gonna be one of the most incredible games ever. I'm just thrilled. I'm like, oh, I can't even wait. Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. But hey, that's some incredible timing, honestly. I swear I didn't really plan it that way. But that was Witch Trial number 3 and Witch Trial number 4 with a nice little E3 recap. So, next episode is going to be Witch Trial number 5. I am the Perpetual Noob, and I hope to see you all again next time.